This week, it's finally happening. TD018 will take force from the Spanish Grand Prix onwards. The guideline is there to make testing around flexing front wings a lot more strict, and we've given this a lot of attention, of course, in videos like this one. At the start of the year, it was thought the impact would be massive, but this has calmed down since then. So why is that, and how difficult is it to tweak a car that relies on flexing front wings? In today's GPFans Special, we're diving into all of that. The FIA was still reluctant to intervene on flexible wings last year. That changed at the end of January. Technical changes came, which will be implemented in two phases. Starting with the Chinese Grand Prix, wings were only allowed to flex 0.5 millimeters under the vertical load during testing. The second phase goes into effect this weekend and mainly has to do with the FIA's testing methodology. What is going to change is that when the weight is placed symmetrically on both sides of the car in the FIA tests, the vertical deviation should not exceed 10 millimeters. Currently, it is 15 millimeters. The deviation when the weight is placed on one side of the car must not exceed 20 millimeters now, but that will change to no more than 15 millimeters from Spain onwards. The flaps on the front wing may now flex 5 millimeters at a force of 60 newtons, but that will be reduced to 3 millimeters. In late January, word came that the FIA would come up with additional countermeasures for the flexible wings after all, following internal discussions. This came as a surprise to many teams, as initially the governing body did not want to do anything about it. Nicolas Tombazis, the director of single-seaters at the FIA, commented on this, saying that the message the FIA would not do anything about it should not have been said. Indeed, in December, the FIA suspected that the trend of wings flexing might become a lot more intense this year, which is why it decided to come up with TD018 after all. Teams always want as much downforce as possible, of course, in corners and the highest possible top speed on the straights. Flexible wings can be used to maximize both of those things. For example, the wing flexes on the straights and bends down, decreasing air resistance and increasing top speed, but is also as upright as possible again in the corners, maximizing downforce there. There are a number of teams that lean on flexing wings. Mercedes, but mainly McLaren, have been accused of using the trick. Yet the impact of TD018 cannot be underestimated. For instance, experts argue that a car whose concept is built around flexing wings is difficult to convert into one that does not. This has everything to do with the car's bodywork, which is tuned for the flexing effect, and that in turn would be difficult to convert to a car that does not lean on it. In addition, we must not forget that next season we will have to deal with a new set of regulations, and the big question therefore remains: when will teams fully transition to the development of the 2026 car, and how much time and energy will be put into the current cars? Still, we have to assume that the teams leaning on the concept with the flexing front wings have already come up with a plan B. Indeed, Last Word on Sports reports that the vast majority of teams are arriving to Spain with a lot of updates, possibly to tackle the new technical directive. The TD has also divided opinion within the paddock. Recently, Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur claimed he thinks it could be a game changer. We are at the point where it's difficult to do a big upgrade on the car because after 4 years with the same regulations, we are more fighting for details. The biggest one probably will be Spain because we have a clear change of regulation with the complete new front wing. It could be a reset on the immediate picture, but not on the championship. The guy who will lead the championship in Spain will still lead the championship after Spain, but in terms of pure performance, it could be a game changer. All eyes are of course on McLaren, but Andrea Stella said back in February that he doesn't expect things to change too much. No headache at all. We don't have to make many adjustments at all for the start of the season. There will be a small adjustment required from race 9. I know it's become a big talking point, but in terms of what makes us busy and what gives us headaches, actually there are completely different topics which have much more to do with gaining those tenths of a second. Former Red Bull team manager and now Kick Sauber team boss Jonathan Wheatley has a very different opinion. He said in Imola that this TD may well become an important factor this year that can really make the difference in performance. He says the pecking order could definitely change. Well, we'll see all of this weekend, won't we? What do you think, though? Are we going to see a big shakeup in the pecking order this weekend, or will everyone stay the same and is much being made out of nothing? As always, leave your thoughts in the comments down below, but either way, thanks as always so much for watching. Catch you in the next one, and peace.